who's going to come out on top then. So come on, Arx, Bani or Numlocked?
I think Numlock's been on top of this game.
So here we go then, we are live. This is HRG versus Epsilon Esports. i49 Aquatuning TF2 Cup. We are Arx Beta, Lange on the stream as we follow Numlocked and of course Bani to middle. Let's see who gets there first. Arx, take us through to this first mid.
As it looks like Numlocked is going to be going through that lower doorway. Both Demoman actually choosing to take the floor routes here. Soldiers going up aggressive for HRG here, jumping on the crate. Gear just making sure that he can get some wit to the Epsilon mid-fight, and HRG all grouped in one location. This is looking bad for them. Two players down, Size are getting a lot of damage, and he's still really good health. He might be able to deathmatch, but well, he's not going to be able to take down two scouts on his own when a medic's in the picture as well. And Bani running for his life does pick up that health pack over in second. Scout is chasing him, but I think he might have heard the footsteps coming into point. And yeah, Epsilon coming out with that mid-fight quite convincingly. Medic did go down, so Epsilon going to have a strong Uber advantage coming into this fourth.
Yeah, Epsilon seemed to control that high ground there. Got a lot of players up top, and well, HRG almost appeared like they were slow to that mid-fight. They didn't even really get into it. They lost a lot of players in quick succession, and as we saw at Bani, the only one surviving and getting out. Sticky's on top of the point at the moment as well. Let's have a look at HRG defense. Anything going on at all? Nothing out of the ordinary. Numlocked still trying to spam in just to destroy their Stickies on top of the point, which you can see. There is a scout from Epsilon, and Epsilon rotated round through the garage up top. That hasn't been called. This could be disastrous. They need to get on Shade quickly if they want to make the most of it. Shade does not have that Uber yet. Uber has been popped. Now HRG are stranded. Soldier comes bombing in onto the medic. Shade up in the air, trying to dance around. It gets the Uber and manages to keep his team alive. Mike gets caught, and HRG are going to hold Arx.
Well, HRG popped their Uber. It's a little weird that Epsilon managed to give HRG enough time to build up that Uber, considering they had a 100% advantage. And now HRG trying to just get that second point back. They haven't yet got it back. Soldiers on the point. Scout coming for the block. Has temporarily blocked that, and well, it looks like HRG are going to manage to take back their second. They only have 3 players alive, however, so they've got to be careful. And it looks like we have a pause.
Yeah, let's quickly flick over to the damage and see what's going on in the meantime. So top damage already, Mike leading the way, just about 900 Arx, and Bani closely behind, and Numlocked there as well. So interesting mid-fight. As I said, they got that high ground, they didn't really get into it, but Mike did the right thing, went behind. They knew they had the advantage, but that's just great play by the HRG guys, building quickly, and well, they survived it really. Just
building quickly and stalling them from getting that second point. Epsilon, they like to push ahead of the point that they're capping. They will push their whole team almost to the last point before they've captured that 4th CP, and they just push in. And then they rotate round and send one player to come and back and capture the point usually. But in this case, nobody really went back. They never really came into the point and committed. Maybe they're just giving their opponents too much respect than they normally do. And in the end, that meant that HRG had enough time to build that Uber charge, come out, and they've taken that 4th point. As things are going, though, they're not safe. HRG players not on great health as this pause comes into play. Yeah, Epsilon, they do have probably the worst classes compared to HRG. HRG, obviously, Demo Man and Scout. That's going to mean a lot of protection for the Demo Man, who's going to be able to output damage and just try and stop them from, well, retaking that point. But it's a Scout and Soldier for Epsilon who will be pushing in to it. Scout will be able to clear the Stickies, and Soldier might go aggressive. He's got better health than the HRG players, but I don't know if they're going to be able to just walk in and retake this point. I think, yeah, we'll just have to see. Yeah, there's probably going to be a little bit of delay right now still. They're not live at the moment, so still a bit of a pause. So Arx, I was going to say, who do you yeah, so we did Bani versus Numlocked. Okay, you never really answered me. Well, well, the game was starting. Don't try and blame me for that one. Okay, I think that so far in this tournament, Numlocked's been playing better than Bani. That could just be, obviously, the team that surrounds them. It's not necessarily saying that individual player is better than this one, but so far in this tournament, Numlocked has been playing better, so that's who I have to go with. And I will ask you about the Soldiers.
They can probably hear everything we're saying, by the way.
Yeah, they might be able to, but obviously we're not really giving anything away apart from talking up and down their skill levels. So, okay, so we do have let's say the Soldiers. Okay, so Mike and Gear versus Tag and Lansky. Who do you think is the better combos?
I don't know. It's interesting because we saw in that mid fight earlier that the HRG guys just didn't get in the fight. It almost didn't get in a fight at all. Epsilon guys were up top and just controlling the fight from the minute they got there. Maybe that was just because of the speed of Numlock getting there. They had the support there, the stickies already there on the crates.
Yeah.
But as for the rest of the tournament, obviously we saw HRG versus IM, and well, the power of Yuki and Aphoria or Aporia, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. They just seem to really win. So maybe the guys need to step it up a bit, or maybe it's just a case of getting that coordination and clockwork together. But we are back, and Arx, we're going to have their rolling around models until the end of the round, I guess. But yeah, Epsilon fall back. They give HRG that second point.
Indeed, a bit of an interesting one, deciding to back off there. Obviously, they're just taking things slow. This is the first round, and it's quite an important game. Obviously, the level of these teams, you do want to finish off with the highest seed possible. Just so that, well, you don't have to play harder games later. And we'll just see now as Epsilon opted to go through the garage. Uber has been popped. Scout's going over onto the medic. Great holding from the HRG medic. They are pushing out from that Z, trying to chase down the medic. But actually, a lot of the Epsilon players are still stranded inside. They're up top. This could be quite messy for Epsilon. They're pretty much committed at this point to staying into the point. Not all of their players can escape, but they have a good flank on 3 versus 4 at the moment. 2 versus 3. Medic is still alive for both teams, and we'll just have to see. It looks like Epsilon medic there of Nox is going to be able to escape with his scout and just run all the way back to join up with their forward spawners.
Yeah, Numlock gets a quick forward spawn. Will they contest mid? They do want to come through that ramp area. HRG still stuck in that mirror, so almost that mirror spot, exactly the same area. Just watch out for the bomber at the moment. Just trying to see who's there. Lansky, I thought he was going to set up for a sneaky hiding spot on the yard, but HRG do have it, Arx, and be interesting to see whether they fancy the push, because Epsilon don't look like they're going anywhere as we see the pause and unpause. Nox actually crashed. Wow, so the medic went down because he left the game, so maybe they do know they have the advantage now.
Yeah, indeed. So we'll just see as HRG just trying to peek into this point. One soldier has jumped up. That's a tagger on there. He's over onto the Demoman. Going to take him down with that, well, nice rockets coming off from the crate. HRG now into the mid, and yeah, you might be right. This might be literally because of the Uber advantage.
Yeah, they got it relatively easily. Tagger just getting on Numlock totally no heals, nothing you can do about it. Epsilon going to try and defend here as well. It looks like Bash just defending against the Deadman Soldier. And was that a call from Nox I just heard? So maybe they do have it, but they're happy to fall back. Left-hand side, both Soldiers and Demoman. So it's a full Epsilon lineup, probably going to try and come into their second Arx. Left-hand entrance, trying to bully their way in like they usually do against the European teams. As to me, Nox dropped. Fanny got the stickies there. Wow. But will HRG capitalise on this? Mike's gone on the defensive, sitting up on the pipe. It's going to be Mike versus the rest of the HR team. Let's just see what side the HR team fancy it. And they've come in the left side, so Mike would be useless. Jumps in on this scout, but there is time on point. Epsilon being cleaned up, 6 players down, and that is 1-0 to HRG.
First round going to HRG there. Can Epsilon respond with that? It all came down to that drop. Obviously the crash allowed HRG to come in to that middle point and beyond relatively comfortably, but you can't excuse Epsilon for that drop there. And well, we are going on to round 2. 24 minutes 40 seconds remaining in this match as the Demomen making their way to middle. Numlock's opting to take the low route. He is significantly slower than Baddy because of the route that has been taken, but opted sticky off that right hand side as HRG making their way in through the left. Soldiers jumping aggressive. Both soldiers are quite aggressive here, not committing to the jumps though, just trying to intimidate the Epsilon players back. It worked. Tag being the first casualty in this mid fight so far. Mike also going down quite early to scattergun off Sizer. Epsilon trying to push aggressively, but great collective play from HRG there's taking down the players. I'm not sure if Epsilon can do this. Medic does drop. Nox is still alive with Numlocked, and it looks like they've fallen out of the point just to maintain that Uber advantage while surrendering the midpoint to HRG.
Yeah, so obviously, of course, Nox and Numlock did not go down there. They will be able to defend this second for a slight bit. Let's say, I'm not sure how long they'll be able to hold it with 2 of them there. Epsilon spawners now coming in. Full team will be able to. They're going to try and get back into the point actually. And HRG taking their time. Of course, Shade went down throughout that fight. So do you reckon Epsilon fancy coming back into 3 here?
They will do because they've got their Uber. They're basically, well, they'll probably try and Oh, wow, they'll try and take it for free, but they might end up trading an Uber for a capture point here. They need to be quick about it, though. HRG getting up to 50% already, and midpoint does take a long time for them to capture. Bash does get taken down on entry, so maybe they're not going to decide to do it. It has been quite a while, so they're going to be aware that HRG is getting close to their Uber, and the last thing they want is for HRG to come back in before they've capped out that midpoint, because, well, they'll find themselves in a lot of trouble. So it looks like Epsilon not opting to push into the mid just yet. They're obviously one player down. That's good reason not to come in, but also HRG getting that Uber soon. They will be looking to make a push.
Yeah, just following Mike right hand side of that area at the moment as Numlock looks like he wants to try and force it in, taking so much damage. Uber's forced from Shrugger, the scout, as he came jumping in, and of course HRG have not used theirs yet. Let's go in eyes with Vanny to see if he can make the most of it. Uber has now been popped. Gear's in trouble. He's actually taken down straight away, and HRG will be coming through uncontested right hand side. And Epsilon, of course, just rotating back into that point, just surround themselves with some walls, really, and hopefully spam out HRG as they walk through the choke points. And they're in the garage. They're in the garage arc. Bash caught again. Numlock could be in trouble here. Soldier's Drum right next to him. Time on point, trying to capture it. Mike gets taken down as well. Nox has still just holding up behind Numlock. And yet Epsilon looking like they're surrendering it. Random peel Rolly from Numlock does take down Lange in the background of the garage, but Epsilon could be in trouble, Arx.
They do have, well, just about have their Uber charge, and they might know that HRG do not yet have those. So they've got a small window of opportunity to push back into their second, try and retake it, but they really can't afford to use their Uber charge here if they do decide to do that, because HRG, if they walk out, they're just going to come straight back in with that Uber. So Epsilon looks like they're not going to come in. There is a sticky trap above the door that Epsilon are peeking towards, but again, realizing that HRG probably have their Uber, and, well, it's a bit too risky at this stage in the game to make that kind of push.
Yeah, I'm following Tag at the moment, going back upstairs. I thought he was going to try and come for the bomb. Numlock's actually, Size is caught. Could that prompt the push? Numlock was actually watching up top, knowing that they've HRG do like to come in up top, try and spam. And Nox, look where Nox is with I think that's Gear. Is that Gear with him there? Uber has been popped there. It was in fact Gear, who's just all the way up there with Nox, upper area, counter Uber as well, so no team will have the advantage. That's probably a good trade for Epsilon there. See if they can recycle and build that up quicker, especially if they take more damage, and a little bit of stalemate, Arx.
The thing about Granary last is it's quite easy to push out and cover all directions, so it's difficult for a back cap to come in. Obviously they can send one player top and he can
HRG
cover
coming in.
All routes there, and wow.
Jumping Soldier of Tag coming in onto Nox. Nox takes a big rocket but manages to survive, just falls behind the pipe. And, well, maybe here comes Numlock, maybe in on the right entrance, getting those stickies down. They just want to get this point back, Arx.
Indeed, indeed. So let's have a look as the...
Banny nearly caught, sorry. Numlock stickies does catch Sizer with a nice 2 direct peels. Just destroy Sizer. Epsilon don't fancy it.
Well, we'll have a look. Epsilon do have their Uber now. Might want to look at Nox here as he is sitting up on the pipe. Are they going to try and make some sort of push in? There is Soldier up top waiting for him. Lansky there just trying to pressure them back and just get some visuals on them as they are going to come through.
Sniper.
HRG with their Uber as well. Got to watch out for that sniper shot. That sniper threat.
I'll stay in eyes on the sniper. Don't worry.
Indeed. So with Epsilon on top, it looks like they fancy making a push here. Just sitting up top at the moment. There is a sticky trap above that door. They have to be careful for that. Sticky's above. Oh my gosh! Nox goes down to the sticky trap. Epsilon into so much trouble right now. Uber is popped to free before HRG as they will be pushing forward into this last point. 3 players alive. Numlock's no health left. Stefan's going down as well. Gear in trouble, and HRG going to be taking this score 2-0. 19 minutes, 25 seconds remaining. Another drop costing Epsilon.
Wow, and Nox, again, a second drop of the game. We don't really usually see too many from him, and that's a second in a row. Exactly the same position, almost, Arx, just the other side of the door. And it's 2-0 the score. 19 minutes remaining. This is VanillaTV's Arx Beta bringing you HRG versus Epsilon Esports. Lange on the stream as we go to this third mid. Again, we're in eyes with Numlocked. Neither Demoman actually taking a sticky from each other, so this could be interesting. One of the scouts from HRG, and Numlock's in trouble. Soldier comes bombing in. All soldiers turn around to try and protect him. And look where the HRG players are. Fanny and Shade in massive trouble, and they're destroyed by Mike and Gear up top. So HRG looking like they might lose this one, but the fight is still going on. Numlock now rotating back onto the point. There is a scout on him. Shrugger takes care of Numlock, and Nox is retreating yet again with the Scout Buster, but gets the Uber Sword, gets the Uber, and Soldier of Tag goes down courtesy of that Uber Saw and Uber.
This might secure Epsilon the mid, but the Uber advantage is going to be in HRG's favor. Shade there just building up quite quickly. They have, yeah, they will secure this mid. They have enough capture time on there, and there's no way that HRG are going to get in that quickly. But it's going to be a while before the Epsilon players get there. HRG possibly had an opportunity there to push through, as they would have got to the midpoint quicker, but again, it's risky at this point. 18 minutes remaining. You might as well play some standard by-the-book TF2.
Look where Epsilon are. They haven't even been called, maybe. HRG let them get in for free on that right-hand side. Now in comes some rollies, some peels from that demo man of Banny, but they've almost got him for free. Numlock's already out on his own, actually, in fact. Only his Sal. Here we go. Yeah, sorry, there is a soldier with them as well. Maybe it's a little bit of fakey trying to switch it up. And, yeah, HRG do have that Uber Arx.
Yeah, Gear was just jumping in there to try and force it out. Didn't manage to do so. Didn't really hit anything, actually. And HRG now with that one-player advantage, just dealing with the sticky trap. Numlock getting some great spam over there while they were trying to do that. That's a decent damage output, and Epsilon do have the Uber now. There's going to be a big fight in the garage. Counter Uber is pop, but Numlock goes down before the Uber can go on him. So now Demo Man down just with one soldier medic. Epsilon surely going to have to retreat here, even though they have that choke advantage. Scouts for HRG coming in, dealing so much damage. Stefan and Bash both going down.
Look
Time on the
Gear.
point.
Gear's on Shade. Gear does take down Shade, and finally Shrugger finishes
Careful
hiding behind the crate.
In the point 2 at the moment, Nox is in a bit of trouble there. 55 health. Scout chasing him, going for the Ubersaw again. He did manage to land a crossbow, giving him a little bit of health, but there is still a scout in the point. Gets another crossbow. Nox takes him down and survives. Not really much of an Uber advantage there, but definitely he'll appreciate still being alive.
Yes, Nox, yes. That is how we do it, my friend. Staying alive. 2-0 the score, still remaining in favour of HRG. And Epsilon, with Nox staying alive, have got a very minuscule advantage, Arx.
Indeed, indeed. So we will have to see in the midpoint, are Epsilon going to fancy some sort of push here? They are, well, one scout's just peeking in, seeing if he can get a visual. They've got a soldier up top and Demoman coming through the lower entrance. Just not really got enough damage. One scout's come into it. Epsilon might come in here. If that scout could just deal a bit more damage. Numlock takes a massive hit as he comes in, but HRG having to retreat. Obviously, they knew that that medic was alive and didn't know how long he'd been building his charge for. So maybe they thought that Epsilon had this Uber, and, well, they're going to cap out this mid.
Interesting thought, then. You looked at Mike on top of the crate, spamming everywhere for hidden stickies.
They do not want another drop.
Oh, Soldier just runs straight onto Numlock. Uber does come back in, so Epsilon have a slight Uber advantage. I mean, very minuscule, and they don't fancy it falling out. 2 players down, Gear and Bash being chased by the Scouts and Soldier at the moment as well. Shade coming in for the heals, Mike helping out as well, and HRG taking that 3rd point. Tag onto Numlock. Numlock just almost seems to stand still. The old way of apps dodging, just stand still and deathmatch people. But yeah, HRG taking that 3rd point.
So Epsilon did get all the forward spawns. There is no Ubers in play at the moment, so Epsilon will be able to hold that forward yard position. They're probably going to be aware of the HRG's Uber percentage being roughly about even with their own. But Epsilon, I guess, want to push forward. They've got their scouts in the point already. They've seen an opening. 1 player down, 2 players down for HRG. Shrugger and Tag down. Banny's having to fall out of the point. Does manage to take down Bash, and Sizer finishing off Numlocked with help of the ground. As HRG coming back in now, Epsilon do have their Uber and getting a lot of time on the point. HRG going to be getting those forward spawns, so if they can block this capture with their Uber, the advantage might swing in their favour. Epsilon just trying to do what they can, but they might have to back out here. One soldier's in a bit of trouble. Size did overextend there, and Stefan takes him down, and actually might take down the medic. That one scout overextending there could have been the difference between winning and losing that point.
Again, Nox just dodging around and delaying it as long as possible. HRG hanging around, lost 4. Nox, I think, got 2 arrows then on Banny, by the way, on that mid-fight. Just dancing around him. But Epsilon do take that midpoint. Shrugger obviously got the forward spawn and got destroyed by the 2 scouts who are just sitting there waiting for him as they come into that 4th CP. One of the soldiers there of Lansky, who does get taken down at the cost of Bash. I think that scout for soldier is always a good trade. Banny's in trouble here. Gear's right next to him, unseen. And Banny does go down. Gear taken down as well. It's only going to be crits. It's crits, yeah. It's crits as well, Arx.
Right, so Epsilon coming in. They are going to have that advantage because of their weapon choice, as they will be pushing in shortly. Taking this 4th point, 80% up on the crits, 85%. They'll be coming in very, very shortly, wanting to use this before Uber comes into play. Leading the way is Numlocked. I don't see a sticky trap on the door that they're about to go through. Soldiers are sitting up top. They've been called where the positions are. Long distance sticky comes in. Is it going to connect with anybody? No, so far not doing much. One soldier does go down. That's 2 players down. Uber has come out. And
time on play.
Have HRG got enough here? They've got 3 players. Only a fraction of time left on the Uber. Good health on those players, but Epsilon might be able to just zerg them here on the last point. Jumping there with that time on the point. Players going to be in predictable positions on the point. Epsilon taking their first round. 2-1 is the score. 13 minutes remaining.
Wow, really long round again. Let's have a look at that damage. Top damage output. 2k. Sizer actually, 2k. Just over 2k. Numlocked and Mike close behind as well. And the kills, Shocky, Lansky and Mike making up the top 3. 2-1 the score. And again, let's follow Numlocked on this rollout. Hopefully we got the dual screen with Banny on the other side for you. Sticky onto the opposing big men pack. Numlocked favouring that top route this time. Again, just sitting at the top left, happy to sit there. Again, another bombing soldier almost turns around. Tag comes in and always turns around. And look where HRG team are. And they've rotated all the way around into that ramp room. And they've lost 3 players trying to get there, though. That's the only issue. Shade is now isolated with Banny there. It's only going to be those 2. Banny and Shade in that garage versus the rest of
no.
It's Uber. Uber comes in. They took so much damage and Nox hasn't got it yet. Finally gets it and does use it. Scout still dancing around with Banny. He can't get rid of him. Just hassling, harassing them all the way. There we go. But look where Epsilon are. They have got the 5th CP.
Here's the thing though, the combo's still behind them. They can technically push to last, and last is going to have no medic, but no, they just isolate them in the garage. Combo down for HRG. They needed to get back a lot quicker than that. And now Epsilon going to be rocking up onto this last point. 3 players down already. There's a heavy on the point, but Scout meat shot in point blank range. As one soldier, he has no chance to do anything. Gets annihilated from a rocket from Mike. Epsilon 2-2 the score. Very, very quick round. 11 minutes, 30 seconds remaining, and we have a game.
Wow, it's a 2-all. Who would have called it? Of course, HRG going on 2-0 up, but they brought it back already, and this is going to be an interesting final 10 minutes. Very quick round, and as you would expect, Epsilon just dominating the top damage stats there of that round. Again, let's follow this Demo Man rollout, and then I'll switch it up to Mike to see where he decides to jump to. So you get Numlock favouring the bottom right this route this time. See where Mike goes. Just after Tag, a nice headshot onto Tag as he comes around. And he's going on to Shade. Vanny takes a massive rocket. Vanny's down. Shade's down as well. So Numlocked and Mike combining very well. Gear's got him behind him. So HRG in big trouble here. Gear has not been called. It's only going to be Size left on point, and that is a HRG wipe.
So Epsilon taking that middle commanding lead. They do have their Uber charge just about to be completed as they make their way into the 4th point. Soldier is already there as the midpoint is captured. In fact, the whole team is there. HRG are going to be dire straits. It wouldn't surprise me if Epsilon already started pushing towards this last point. But no, again, a bit more respect with the respawners also coming in. They're just going to try and delay this out. Well, just wait for the rest of their team to catch up before they make a push onto last. And that will come very, very shortly as well. They're aware of their Uber advantage.
Yeah, they're going to walk in here. Strugger obviously running heavy. We'll see if he can do anything. Oh! Sizer comes up with a nice shot of Gear, but will it be enough? Uber comes in. Obviously, Strugger's destroyed. HRG not going to hold it, Arx. Only the Scouts left. The last one alive. 3-2 the score. Maybe this is just gameplay. This is a little bit of a gameplay from Epsilon. Let them think they've got the advantage. Come back and destroy, basically.
Well, it's either Epsilon.
3 rounds in a row, mate. 3 rounds in a row.
Either Epsilon have stepped up their game, or HRG are crumbling in this this matchup so far. But can they respond? They're certainly capable of doing so. And we'll just have to see on this 6th round. 9 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. There's still a lot of TF2 left in this map, and we'll have to see if they're going to change anything up on the middle. It looks like Epsilon, again, full of confidence, taking the advancing position here. Lansky just jumping up onto that crate. Epsilon, here we go. Mike jumping over, just trying to, well, add some sort of flank. HRG looking in a much better position. 3 early deaths, 4 deaths coming down from Epsilon. They are in trouble here. Low health Nox, low health Numlock. Numlock surely going to go down, but Nox with yet another crossbow kill just before he gets crushed anyway. But great arrows from him. Not enough. HRG going to be taking the mid.
Yeah, so what happened, Numlock came in, took a huge sticky from Banny that time around, and he needed so much attention from Nox as Nox got into the point. And HRG winning it, still some time on the board. We're going to walk on to 4th, relatively uncontested, and most importantly though, Nox did get another cheeky arrow kill.
Right, so we'll just have to see HRG, or will they be pushing onto this last? They do have an uber advantage. Epsilon setting up with the heavy, sitting up on that pipe, very commonplace. They're also running a sniper, that is Bash, so you might want to stay in eyes with him. Just in case the uber comes in the top, Bash surely going to have to go change cars. They're forcing them out of the point here, but actually HRG, this isn't looking like a great push so far. A few of their players do go down. The scouts and soldier not committing to the push up top, and actually HRG, one medic on the point, he does get taken out. Of course, there was no chance of him getting that cap. And Epsilon, only 4 players alive. They did lose their medic, so it's debatable whether or not they could push this, and it looks like they're deciding not to.
Yeah, I'm just following Tag at the moment, looking like he's in an optimal bombing position. Sitting up top, may not have been called just yet. He decided to go back. Disappointing. So this will only just be Epsilon's push, probably a slight uber advantage, and they will know that. Make sure they're checking for stickies, triple checking for stickies after those two. There we go. So Bash has called them this time, but he's cost them his life trying to call those stickies. And HRG pushing up top here. Epsilon could have found themselves in trouble, but no. HRG wanted to try and come out left-hand side. Bombing soldier onto Nox. Nox manages to glide it away, just surf it away. Good job there. Tag and Size a little bit overextended, trying to get that medic down. And again, HRG losing players all over the shop. Mike causing so much damage from on top of the pipe. There is time on point, but Mike's still there. Only the scout remaining of Sugar, and he's getting taken down. Again, another solid defense from Epsilon here.
Mike needs to go back, get his full health. HRG weren't really in a position to push forward. One scout is running through to the point. He's obviously seen one soldier out there, but Epsilon having just enough players alive, so the single players of HRG did not come in. But now they do have their uber charge, and this is going to be a problem. No sniper this time. Epsilon looking for a full deathmatch. Can they hold on? They do have that heavy. Hasn't really taken much damage yet. He's still on, well, over 200 health. Can he survive this? Uber is out. Epsilon still with 6 players alive. 2 of them reasonably weak. Stefan does go down from HRG. This push might not work. Great damage from the scout. Soldier jumping in now, just trying to finish that medic off. Misses the air shot. And HRG, 2 players alive. They've kept their medic up with a scout, but they've had to back off. Epsilon surely going to be pushing forward this time.
Wow, so 3 pushes in a row for HRG. 3 pushbacks. Resistance there from Epsilon. It must be a little bit demoralising. Still running that heavy as well. And, Sizer does get caught in the Z there. No, it won't make too much difference. Obviously, it's running scout. Fast spawner. Nox does have his Uber. Some stickies behind the wall. Let's just see if they get called as they walk in. Watch the stickies. No one's called those stickies on that right-hand wall. Finally, they do get called now. Only just, but Epsilon don't fancy it, Arx. I'm surprised. They just know Shade didn't go down and probably think he got it a little bit sooner. Again, I'm watching Tag, who's, yeah, he's been called. He's been called, yeah, I think. Surely he's been called just up in that crate area.
Well, as we do hit 5 minutes, 30 seconds, the clock will be coming into play. Epsilon do have a point advantage as Tag goes down, and Gear goes down as well with a lol on the chat from Tag. As yeah, as I was saying, with the clock being 5 minutes, 20 seconds remaining, Epsilon do have that 1 point advantage. If they slow the game down now, there will come a point where they can't really lose the game. They could only tie it up. There won't be enough time. So Epsilon might not be in the mood to make any real hardcore pushes out into the yard or anything. But HRG, they need another round on the board, so they'll probably be coming in shortly.
Yeah, HRG probably need this win more than Epsilon do. Primarily because of that loss to IM earlier. They want to be in that top 3 seeding. And Epsilon are coming out of the Z. Not enough damage dealers from the HRG there at the moment. Only Banny, and Epsilon have forced them back. Wow. So Epsilon have got that yard area back for free almost, for free. I guess Lansky just wasn't doing enough damage there. Obviously because, of course, they lost Lansky in that fight with Gear, and pretty much Epsilon's yard area again.
That is it. So Soldier is jumping in. That being out in that yard area does make you more vulnerable to those Soldier bombs from, well, Tag in this case. Didn't succeed with that one. Bash was the one who shut him down. Mike does go down in return, though. Along with Bash, so maybe Epsilon losing 2 players here. HRG coming through. They're going to have to surrender that yard, but another player is going to go down. That's Gear out in the yard, isolated on his own. Now Epsilon do have their Uber 6 seconds until the scouts spawn, so they might try and just hold this off with an Uber, but they need to delay it as long as possible before they pop that and crucially get the Uber out of HRG. Lansky does go down on the push in. Scout is over onto the medics. Wow, he had to force that Uber. Well, nerves of steel there from the medic as HRG do come in as well. Not sure Epsilon have the players. No demo man, no hold.
Yeah, Numlock got caught trying to escape, just missed his jump up into the upper area. But Epsilon do not want to give up that second CP. They know this is vital because of those front spawns, and Epsilon held it. Epsilon held it. So HRG had that Uber much after Epsilon. Big old advantage, and they've held it well. And maybe it's time to think about trying something else. Maybe it's time to think about trying crits.
It very well could be. HRG haven't really used crits too much this tournament. There's a lot of time on that capture point though, so they will probably just try and see if they can edge their way in without committing too much here. Great spam coming in from Mike and Numlock combined. Mike getting a kill down onto Shrugger. And Epsilon might use that as a push there. Uber's nearly ready. HRG don't have theirs. If Epsilon push out really, really quickly, they might be able to utilize that small advantage, but no, it's not going to be the case. And HRG do have their Uber now, and a little bit of a stalemate. Under 3 minutes now.
Yeah, so Numlock just getting those heals and gets an Uber on him. Still a fight outside that garage area taking place, and yeah, they don't want to give up a second CP Arx. Running out of time very quickly, HRG are, and having a look at again, essentially both Ubers out, no team committing. Oh, Shrugger gets caught just by Gear on that left-hand side. HRG have lost Tag as well, so one of the soldiers will prompt them to come out, and HRG have lost Lansky as well, both soldiers down. Gear chasing after Banny. Banny goes down as well. So HRG, only 2 players remaining. Sizer and Shade. They might lose 3 here, and we could be looking at Epsilon winning this match.
HRG are going to get these forward spawns on all of their players. Bash is not going to be in a fight for a while. Well, because he's just about to respawn, but he's going to have to change spawns or wait, obviously. But Epsilon are going to take this midpoint. Scout looks like he committed in just to see what he could do, but he's surely going to have to buck up. No, in fact, HRG realizing the time left here. 2 minutes, they have to come in for this middle. Just trying to do what they can. Gear does go down. Bash also down. HRG trying to take this back. Uber comes out from Epsilon, losing 2 players already, 2 apiece. HRG losing 3 of their players, 3-3 at the moment. Epsilon health is not looking good. Numlock gets taken down. Mike on very low health as well as Nox. This could be a double kill for whoever's brave enough to go in. And in fact, no, they're just trying to secure that midpoint, which they have done.
Yeah, it's a good play by Tag there, just coming up on top of the crate, then jumping, getting 2 kills, then jumping back down onto Numlock. We're coming into the final few seconds of this game. 1 minute and 30 seconds remaining. 3-2 the score to Epsilon and Granary. This is the final group game to decide the seedings for the knockout stages of this tournament. Epsilon trying to build their Uber as fast as seemingly possible with that Boston Basher Scout there as well. HRG not building as fast, they're just taking their time, taking it slow. 1 minute remaining, Arx.
Well, that's it. They just need to try and tie this up to a golden cap. They do have that charge. They are coming in through this garage area. Epsilon positioned with a couple of players up top, a few players down the bottom as well. And we'll have to see as players do come and get a bit of time on the point. That's Scout just trying to just say, look, hey, we're coming in. So let's see as the Ubers are coming in from HRG. From up top, counter Uber is popped for Epsilon. Players are in there, and this is looking quite good for HRG. Bash does go down already. Epsilon having to fall out of this point. Numlock just trying to get a bit of spam, but it looks like HRG going to be taking this 4 point. 27 seconds remaining. Have HRG got enough to push onto this last? It's going to be non-Uber versus non-Uber. Epsilon not running any dodgy classes at the moment. And HRG coming in.
Here comes Tag bombing in. Nox still building at the back with Gear helping him out. Gear goes down. Mike's still there trying to defend this final point from that Scout. Soldier comes in to block. It's going to be so close here. HRG losing too many players. Only Shade. And there we go. So final score 3-2 the score to Epsilon. What a game. And it's going to be a great tournament. And let's hope we get more games like that.